Black screen. Gradually, a white screen appears. In the corner, a clock reads 11:47 p.m. Marcus is lying on the sofa holding his cell phone. The screen shows a Forbes article with Elon Musk's net worth, $200 billion. He stares intently. Question marks float above his head. He just paid $1,400 in rent. His student loan payment is due tomorrow. His 401k account has $3,200 after 3 years of contributing. A small, cracked piggy bank appears beside him, and he's reading about a man worth $200 billion. The number is drawn by hand on the whiteboard, slowly, digit by digit. 200 billion. It fills the entire screen. It doesn't seem real. It doesn't make sense. A small gear appears in Marcus's head. It spins once, stops, broken. And the truth is, it shouldn't make sense anyway, because the way most people think about money stops somewhere around level 2. A vertical ladder appears on the whiteboard, 10 steps. Marcus is at the bottom looking up. The top disappears into the clouds. We talk about rich and poor as if they were a spectre, as if they were a rotary knob. A simple knob appears drawn with the word wealth. Just turn it more, earn more, save more, done. The knob is scratched with a big X. It's not a button. It's a staircase with 10 completely different floors. And the rules, the actual mechanics of how money works, change completely with each step. My name is Jack, and I spend a lot of time thinking about why two people with nearly identical incomes end up in completely different financial realities after 10 years. If you've ever looked at your bank balance and felt like something didn't add up, subscribe to the channel because this video is exactly about that. Before we begin, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and I'm not here to make you feel bad about where you are. What I'm going to show you is how money really works at every level. Not what it seems like, what happens underneath. The staircase returns, 10 steps, each one is assigned a number. Level 1. Annual income below $25,000. A small figure appears with the floor of shallow money barely covering their feet. This level isn't about bad choices. It's about math that doesn't add up no matter what you do. At $25,000 a year, the average rent in the United States already consumes more than 50% of gross income. Before tax, before food, before anything. The Federal Reserve reported in 2023 that 42% of Americans wouldn't be able to cover a $400 emergency without borrowing or selling something. Not because they are irresponsible, because the math of level 1 doesn't allow for any margin. The solution almost always involves one thing: increasing income, not cutting out coffee, not using coupons, increasing income. Level 2, between $25,000 and $50,000 a year. Sarah appears smiling, carrying shopping bags. She earns $45,000 a year, seems stable, seems okay. A bar graph appears showing gross income, federal and state taxes, health, rent, transportation, food, student loan. The bar disappears. What remains is a thin, almost invisible line. Herein lies the most dangerous trap of level 2. It's not called poverty. It's called the appearance of stability. The person feels they've arrived somewhere. They relax. They stop seeking income growth. And they remain at this level for years without realizing it. The psychological mechanism here is hedonic accommodation combined with social comparison. You compare yourself to those who earn less and feel good. You stop comparing yourself to those who build wealth. Two characters appear side by side. One looking down, satisfied. The other looking up, growing. The solution is aggressive automation. Every penny left over goes straight to Roth IRA before you even see it. The decision is made once, not every month. Level 3. Between $50,000 and $100,000 a year. Marcus now appears in a suit, promoted, smiling. $72,000 a year. This is the most treacherous level of all. Arrows point in all directions. New car, bigger apartment, trips, better clothes, restaurants, subscriptions. Each arrow has a value. The sum of the arrows is exactly equal to the salary increase. Lifestyle creep is invisible because every decision seems reasonable. The newest car, because now you can afford it. The best apartment because you deserve it. The premium gym because health is important. No single decision is absurd on its own. The combination of them is a perfect trap. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that Americans in the third income quartile spend proportionally more on consumption than those in the second quartile. More money, more spending, same surplus. Sometimes less. The solution is what I call intentional lifestyle freezing. When your salary goes up, your lifestyle doesn't increase along with it. At least not for 12 months. Every increase goes straight into automated investment before you even feel like you have more money. An arrow appears pointing upwards. Your lifestyle remains stable. Your net worth starts growing on its own. Level 4. Between $100,000 and $250,000 a year. Sarah reappears. Now in a large office. $140,000 a year. From the outside, it looks like consolidated wealth. Inside, the graph shows the same problem on a larger scale. Federal tax already eats up 32%. The cost of living in a high-cost city like New York, San Francisco, or Miami erodes the rest at an astonishing rate. $2,000 in rent, $600 in healthcare, $400 in transportation. Student loans still in place. Vacations that seem well-deserved. The illusion here is more sophisticated. The person doesn't feel like they're overspending because absolutely everything seems justified by the level of effort they put in to get where they are. The mechanism is called consumer identity. You don't buy things. You buy the version of yourself that got there. And that version is expensive every month. The solution begins when you separate identity from wealth. Who you are doesn't have to cost what you spend. Level 5. Between $250,000 and $1 million per year. Here, the first major turning point occurs. A line appears cutting the ladder in half. Above it, the rules change. Below it, you work for the money. Above it, the money starts working for you. At level 5, income begins to have a real surplus after all expenses, not leftovers. Surplus. The difference is fundamental. Leftovers are what remains. Surplus is what you intentionally direct. Two boxes appear side by side, one with the word consumption, the other with the word capital, an arrow coming out of the surplus and going straight to capital. People at this level who continue to accumulate wealth have made a clear decision. The surplus does not finance lifestyle. It finances assets, stocks, real estate, business stakes. Capital begins to generate its own income. A wheel appears spinning on its own with an arrow feeding it. Level 6, between $1 and $10 million in net worth. Marcus and Sarah appear together for the first time, looking at the same step with different expressions. Marcus confused, Sarah comfortable. The difference is no longer income, it's structure. At this level, the conversation changes completely. You no longer ask how much you earn, you ask how much your assets yield. A two-axis graph appears. Horizontal axis, time. Vertical axis, passive income growing while active income remains stable. The passive income line begins to cross the expense line. When it crosses, something changes. A pair of scissors cuts the cord connecting the character to the work clock. Level 7. Between $10 and $100 million. Here the problem ceases to be accumulation and becomes preservation and allocation. A large safe appears. Inside it, slices, stock market, real estate, private businesses, reserves. The risk is now different. It's not the risk of not having. It's the risk of losing what has been built up over decades through poor allocation decisions, misplaced trust, or lack of legal structure. Trusts, holdings, multi-state tax planning, wealth managers. The vocabulary changes entirely, and most people have never come close enough to realize that this vocabulary exists. Level 8. Between $100 million and $1 billion. A bridge appears on the whiteboard. On one side, personal wealth. On the other, systemic influence. At this level, money begins to have power over structures. Corporate policies, entire markets, supply chains. The figure here no longer has a job. They have stakes. They don't buy products. They buy companies that make products. The concept of monthly income ceases to exist. Net worth fluctuates by billions in a single market day, and that's noise, not a crisis. Level 9. Between $1 and $100 billion. Marcus looks at this step on the ladder, and the gears in his head stop working again. Not because he's less intelligent, but because the cognitive tools we use to understand money were built for levels 1 through 4. At this level, wealth is no longer a number, it's infrastructure. Entire companies depend on one person's decisions. Countries negotiate with them. The media covers every move. Psychology changes. Isolation increases. The perception of common economic reality disappears almost completely. Level 10. Above $100 billion. The number is drawn again on the whiteboard. 200 billion, 300 billion. The ladder disappears. A flat line appears on the horizon. Money at this level has ceased to be a means. It has become the system itself. Allocation decisions at this level move global markets, finance space races, influence elections, build the infrastructure of entire countries. Marcus looks at this number on his cell phone at 11:47 p.m. and can't process it. Because processing it would require understanding 10 completely different realities at the same time. And here's what really matters. Most people don't need to understand level 10, but they desperately need to understand the difference between level 2 and level 3, between level 3 and 4. Because it is precisely in this transition that real wealth is built or disappears forever. Two paths appear on the whiteboard, all starting from the same point. Same income, same city, same starting point. One path goes straight to the right with slight undulations, the other climbs in an exponential curve. The difference between the two is not luck, it's not inheritance. It's when the person understood the rules of the level they were on and stopped playing by the rules of the level below. Marcus closes his cell phone. The clock still reads 11:47 p.m. But something in his expression has changed. Not euphoria, not motivation, clarity. Knowing where you are is the first step. Knowing what to do from here is a different story. And it's difficult to have that conversation alone with just one video.